What is up, bros? Me Josh here, and today's video is all about the USS Missouri. Now, the Missouri is the Tier 9 USN Premium Battleship, which can be purchased through free XP in the tech tree, and Wargaming has stated in 7.2 it will be removed from the game. Now, currently, when this video is being recorded, it's 7.0, so you still have a little bit of time. And a patch about some patch notes about a month or so ago, they said there'd be about 2 months left. Looks like we might get a little bit extra time in that before it's completely removed and won't be purchasable anymore in game. This has since been replaced by the Musashi, the Tier 9 IGN battleship, and it looks like Wargaming might do a yearly pattern of having one Tier 9 premium being purchasable through the free XP and then rotating them in and out. And I apologize for the shift to enter binocular view. This is how Wargaming's replays are. So I apologize, it's going to be there the entire game, but there's literally nothing I can do. So, the thing about the Missouri is really the kind of the first ship, and especially one, and not only being a Tier 9 premium, but it also being a an insane credit gainer with its multiplier that is in this game. And there's not many ships that really have, and I think it may be the only this year. I'm trying to think of any ones that have some bonus. But what this ship does is it has a built-in modifier that gives you extra credits. And so this game, I'm running a Gamescom camel, I'm running the Wyvern flags, I'm running all kinds of flags that'll give you basically a better chance of making cash, extra percentage. So this thing is stacked. But with this ship, not only is it basically an Iowa, which is an extremely good ship by itself, Tier 9 USN battleship. It has radar, it has good AA, it has everything that a normal Iowa does, and on top of that, it has an insane ability to make tons and tons of credits. So it's kind of this best thing. So I always recommend people trying to get this ship, and now I made a video before, I'll put a link down below, of what should you get? Should you get the Musashi? As you can see, my div mates in the Musashi. Should you get the Missouri? Which one should you get? And I think that the Missouri is a great one to get. Why you still can, because we know for sure that it's going to leave. And you'll probably, with having this ship and having other premiums, you'll have a chance to maybe potentially get the Musashi as well. This thing's a blast to play. It's the only battleship. It's the only battleship with radar, and of course, when you get Tier 9, you have the ability to go Tier 7 ships, just absolutely obliterate. And this is actually a really good game we had earlier. Our Gajimata, which was very, very manic in this map, was our first one dead, but he was going against a Fletcher. Potentially could have honestly won that. But we're going to end up kind of holding this down. Now, looks like our team kind of split up a little bit, as you can see on the mini-map, and we're losing a couple ships. Our CV ended up being a Ranger versus Hiryu, but our CV didn't really know what he was doing too much, and ended up causing us a bit of a headache. But as the game went on, luckily we were Tier 9 ships going against Tier 6, 7 planes with the Hiryu. So we had the ability, but we were basically locking down at this point and holding them down, and we're going to kind of work on this Mogami. Now, if you've ever been in a Mogami sitting broadside against an Iowa or a Missouri, you're going to have a tough time every time. So down he goes. We get our first kill of the game, and 1 point for the Missouri, and already, what, less than 5 minutes in, we're sitting at almost 90k damage. So, and now, of course, this, what is this, the Henry? No, it was the St. Louis. Is very mad at our positioning, but we end up holding down a ton of damage, but we can't give him too much crap because we got to give him props at the end of the game. Lion, though, Lion is a bit of a problem when it comes to any kind of battleship because of how good its HE is. Luckily, he doesn't really focus too much on it, and threw up the radar there just to see if we can maybe catch that Fletcher, because we know that Fletcher has 4k. Now, I was hoping our DD in our division would maybe go hunt down that Fletcher, and he's heading that way, but he doesn't end up getting him right away. The thing about the Missouri, though, the Missouri is, you know, people always recommend, or people always grind their favorite kind of ship, and they're trying to get tons and tons of credits. There's nothing better than the Missouri for getting credits. You can have 1.5, 2 million credit games in this thing. And plus on top of that, running all the flags and all the everything, you can have an insane, I mean, with the Tirpitz, if you stack everything, you could maybe get 1 million, maybe 1 million, and that's a Tier 8. So not only is it a premium Tier 9, so you get that boost from that, but this is tier 9 with the extra, and of course we're gonna start getting into a little bad situation because we got all the guys over where C cap normally is, and but we're going to kind of push up and try to get a little bit more aggressive, try to push this. Now, I have radar coming up in a minute. I was thinking maybe the Musashi and I could hold down this point, and we can hopefully start angling in, but we end up having a little bit of trouble with this Edinburgh that's in smoke because he has a buddy, Benson. I believe it's a Benson that's holding him down. Yeah, it was the Benson that's kind of working together. So double smoke, which kind of sucks. Our Atago is going to be kind of a bummer. He's going to kind of roll in and be an Atago player. Another awesome premium ship to make a ton of cash if you've ever used it. It's a fantastic credit maker, but not really when you kind of rush in against a whole bunch of ships. So he's going to be a good distraction for a little bit, and we'll see what he can do. So the Edinburgh in the smoke is basically just going to kind of work him down, and I was hoping to... This guy actually played it pretty well. Maybe get one more hit, try to get those full pens on a destroyer if we can, and hopefully just switch over to binocular view so it goes down. But the thing about the Missouri though is it's super fantastic. It's a fun ship. It's a very different kind of ship because of its ability to radar and be not only just a normal Iowa. I mean, already 7 minutes in, we're at 115k. This thing is super accurate, super fun to play, and you can be that effective battleship with that radar. So we get a little bit unlucky here, as our Tago decided to push in, do a normal Tago stuff, had to get his torpedoes off. Remember, if you're in a Tago, you always gotta get those torpedoes off, because if you don't, then you didn't get your torpedoes off. So there you can do. And he got pretty dang lucky. This Edinburgh, he started to move out at the perfect time, and the radar didn't really catch too much. And I got kind of caught here between a rock and a hard place. So we're taking shots from Musashi on the left, Lion on the right, and so we take about a 13k right there. Our Ranger misses all of his drops. Luckily though, the Musashi will help me out right here for a nice little salvo. But our real problem is that Edinburgh, which he actually played this very well, and shot us in from that. So we take straight there, maybe 50k from that. So that kind of sucks. We take another torpedo here, so we're hurting right now. We actually are hurting. But we do have this little bit of island we can use. There's our Chungmu. I was hoping our Chungmu would push and kill that guy. Would have been able to kind of focus a little bit more. But we got the Benson and the Ed in front of us, and no radar to help us out. We can't really push forward. Actually, if we would have pushed a little bit forward, I can't really go broadside against them because an Ed will just absolutely shred. If we had radar, I maybe would have pushed this, and we can see that the Benson right behind it as well. So what we're gonna do though is we're gonna try to use our expert skill here and push in and try to potentially shoot a blind shot. We're waiting for him to fire one more time. And nice little skill. Look for those guns, and boom. So we're throwing in that general direction. Now, since it isn't locked in, we're not going to have the better dispersion, but we will snag the Ed for a nice little citadel, bumping us up to almost 134k. Our Musashi is nice enough to take a couple torps. Don't think it was intended, but he definitely did take out a few. And he's going to take that beating and just basically start getting ready for the rest of the game. But they're just going to focus me. I mean, I'm only at 10k. I'm taking a fire. Nothing I can really do. The Ed was pretty smart. I snagged him once, so he's taking his pop shots pretty sparingly. There it is. He's moved a little bit. And we're sitting with one fire. There he is. I was hoping to just smash this guy. But again, he played it very well. He played the spot correctly. Our Tirpitz is going to push in and just get absolutely obliterated. Again, very stereotypical Tirpitz players, very stereotypical Atago players, and shot is in on the Ed. Again, that guy played it very well. I think too many Royal Navy cruisers play it too aggressively and end up kind of overextending and getting kind of murdered as it goes. So I'm a little bit farther away than I'd like to be for our Musashi. And the Musashi, if you guys didn't know, doesn't have very good AA. So he gets dropped on pretty fair and didn't really have me to kind of help out. So right now we're trying to figure out where the best place to go. I can't just kind of sit here hoping to pop a nice little shot in on that guy. Our Chungmu wasn't able to get that Fletcher, so he's going to kind of push in, do what he can to that. Tirpitz is going to take one, I believe. He takes one torp there. He's just going to go straight, not a care in the world. Again, I'm just trying to keep Ed. It's just so brutal. So brutal. I'm trying to keep that island between me and that Musashi. So He's trying to take me down. I'm sitting at 373 life. 373. And I figured I would be done. Just absolutely dead. I got to heal in 37 seconds. Anyway, though, we had 145k, almost 146k. And no one decided to shoot at me. Will I make it? The Satago, I need him not to bump into me. I only have 337 life. So we get a little bit lucky here. The Tago's kind of just rolling around. The Tirpitz is chilling there. Just need to make it 15 more seconds, get this heal off, and I can maybe pump out some more damage. Tirpitz guns are on me. The shot is in. As you can tell, the Missouri, like the Iowa, is super, we get lucky there. Super accurate. So we pumped a nice little shell. Apparently I misjudged it because they all dumped in the water. We get the heal off. Very lucky. Our last heal. Shot is in from the Tirpitz as well. So we have to be a little careful. Hopefully it bounces. He hasn't put the shot in yet, but he's trying. My shot's in though. We're gonna try to do a little bit more damage. Basically, right here, I was just trying to pump out as much damage as I could. No real hindsight of what I could have really done here. Musashi pushed in pretty strong, and it ended up doing a decent amount, almost the full Tirpitz damage. His shot's in on me. Again, if he would have hit us with that one, we would have died, which I'm glad we didn't. But Tirpitz, so we got to focus him down. I figured I had a decent shot on that Musashi, but the faster that guy goes down, the faster our Tirpitz or our Musashi can kind of get out of there. Again, though, I don't know where I was aiming, but apparently I've just dumped him in the water. Musashi's still hanging on there. If he can hold down that point, it'd be kind of nice. But we can't have him catch on fire or anything like that. So probably if I was our Musashi, I wouldn't have moved up like that. Shots in. He's gonna be broadside. I would have just stayed there. I would have stayed on that point. He ended up getting killed. If I were him, I just would have sat literally on that point, and either one just been kind of a shooting station, basically a gun set up right there, and just not. But instead, he pushed forward. He didn't need to, and he ended up getting killed. I think he wouldn't have lasted too, anyways, but could have had the potential to maybe. So right now, I'm kind of trying to stay dark. That's a Musashi, which is basically a Yamato, but he's not shooting at me anymore. So I'm going to try to pump out as much damage as I can against Sarun. Sarun holding on. We lost our Atago, not too surprising. And we're starting to kind of get a nice little comeback, you know? I got my last heal. Our St. Louis is pretty far back. We have, what else do we have alive? So they have both their destroyers still. Our Chungmu wasn't able to go get their Fletcher. I was hoping so. He didn't chase down their Benson, so they have 2 DDs. We have an Atago that hadn't been playing very well. We have the Tirpitz, who's barely alive still. And we have a Ranger that doesn't have too much. So it's basically my destroyer and the St. Louis and me kind of holding this down. And there's not much. I can't really move anywhere, right? If I move, I'm kind of screwed. I can't go march into an Alabama, so I'm trying to look for stuff that's relatively low. I only have a little bit of life, so I gotta be really careful. So I was trying to take out this rune. If I take this rune, that puts us in a pretty good advantage. They're basically down on cruisers. Pristine angle right there. Their Tago again, just trying to get his torps off. Not a care in the world. And our Tirpitz, I think, is about to go down pretty soon. But one thing I can do is I see he's pretty low, but I'm gonna let our Ranger and our Tago take him down. Tago goes down though, and so does our Tirpitz. So the OC was an OCP plan, whatever they were. They didn't really help out too much, but man, they sure fed them some points. But I'm gonna put in a shot on the Pensacola. Take him out. There's high caliber. There is Confederate in our 4th kill. He's gonna take down that. So we're doing okay. I am pretty low. Our Chungmu isn't in a very good spot really to kind of do anything. We're trying to avoid shots like that because the Musashi can just absolutely obliterate me. I was hoping for God tier dispersion, God tier RNG to potentially maybe double sit that Musashi, and then we have kind of a GG. I was hoping our Chungmu would kind of roll south. I figured that since I'm basically perma-detected, that destroyer has to be in this area somewhere, or this area. So I was talking to our DD to potentially maybe, hey, roll back towards Cap. He's going to start rolling this way. I don't think that was a very good play. He should have kind of stayed there. I was hoping he would kill one or the other. And right now, I'm basically just in a bad spot. I'm perma-spotted. He's going to end up smoking up there to avoid the CV, which is fine. And he ended up spotting, I think it was the Benson or something like that. But I'm in a spot. The Missouri took so long to slow down, so this is basically going to be my demise. Only 4,300 life, but we did survive for a while. I ended up going dark for a second, which was all right. But the next Musashi shell is going to be a problem. I backed up as much as I could, but the shot was already in, and boom, down I go. So not much we can really do, but we had the chance, and we're watching our Chungmu right here. So I thought the Chungmu should have probably rolled down, basically in, and as you can see, our St. Louis is going to be all right. I think our Chungmu should have rolled down into this area and kind of hit it down there. And what I mean by that is I think he should have rolled over, but he's going to get into some trouble here working on the Benson. And we kind of need him to get a trade. Again, he kind of was pushing towards a lot of their ships. Now you need to watch out because the two guys are over here with the Musashi and the Rune. So I think he ends up getting a trade here. Benson's going down. Chungmu should murder him. He got into a bad spot. He beached, so it sucks he was trapped sideways by those guys. So he ends up getting the Benson, but goes down there. Like I said, I probably wouldn't have gone there. So we're down two ships to 4, which is pretty bad. So it's been kind of a back and forth game. For some reason, their Fletcher got super aggressive. Our CV, probably his only clutch play of the game, spotted the Fletcher. The Fletcher got too close anyway. So down he goes. So our St. Louis has the potential of pumping out a decent amount of damage. Luckily, the rest of their team is really low, and the score is pretty tight. So 1, and he got very lucky there. French cruisers, super lucky. That's a Musashi. I think that was all broadside. So he's got a Rune with only a little bit of life left. He has Musashi with only a little bit of life left, but it's a decent amount. And we have a CV disadvantage because our guy basically hasn't done anything. And we're gonna switch over, if we can switch over to the CV and do it fast. Yeah, we can apparently. Good replays. But we'll stick with the St. Louis right now. He ends up playing this pretty damn good for the rest of the game. There's the Musashi, 23k or 28k, and gets really lucky. If you guys have ever played the French cruisers, they are basically made of paper, so they're actually very hard to Citadel. The drop there didn't do any damage because he actually dropped too close, and the shot is in. He's looking back at that guy. The shot is in on the Musashi. So what he's gonna do is basically just try to burn these guys down and keep bowing as much as possible. St. Louis is a fantastic ship. I love the French line. If you guys haven't played it, it's very specific, very different in how they play, but a very good chance to pump out a ton of damage. And if this was me, I would have rolled this way a little bit, but he ended up playing this a little bit different than I would, and it ended up working out great. So torps are in. RCV played this terribly. It's 2 tier 9s, although the Musashi doesn't have much AA. He played this really bad. What he should have done is he should have brought his planes around this way and then dropped the Missouri from this way. So he, instead of getting any planes off, he basically said, I'm going to fly into all your AA and do absolutely nothing. So the Rune AA will absolutely shred his planes. He should have gone south and instead of flying over both their combined AAs. So our St. Louis continued to stay aggressive, which is good. Our CV wasn't much help, and luckily this Rune was in a bad spot. Basically the Rune's torps are right on that edge. It would have been impossible for him to drop. So if the Rune was smart, he just would have gone completely broadside and just dropped torps on him. So he's going in this way, and actually with the firing angles, the Rune would have acted like almost a complete hit. So all this St. Louis needed to do was survive that hit, and he did take a massive amount of damage, but ends up getting away with it with about 6,500. Torps are in, and that's a good freaking kill right there. Arsonist, so well played by this guy. He finished this game very, very well, and that's a GG right there. So pretty tough game. We ended up holding on, so 179,000, almost 180,000 damage. 4 kills, high caliber, devastating strike on that Mogami, and a Confederate. So let's check out that post screen. Find out how much we made. So as you can see, 2 million credits, 12,000 commander, 12,000 XP, 2,100 free XP, which right there is what? That's you almost have yourself another Missouri right there. So pretty damn good game overall. Lots of damage, almost 100k, but 2 million credits. I think my highest is somewhere around 2.3, 2.4. But if you have an insane game with this, you have it completely decked out in camos and flags and all kinds of stuff, you can get some massive, massive games. Now, if I didn't have the extra flags, that still would have been about a 1.3 million credit game just with the normal camos and just with normal flags. But that was what the potential you can have. And since it's a premium ship, the repair costs are very low. All that kind of stuff is very, very low. So that to add the extra stuff that you just kind of have laying around, maybe some Wyvern flags, the Zulu flags that you get every once in a while from crates and whatnot, you can have tons and tons and tons. I mean, that's like a tier 6 ship or a tier 5 ship in one game. So a couple of those decent games, making, I mean, that's almost all profit. That's almost all profit. So again, guys, the Missouri is leaving in 7.2. Get it while you can, because look at that, 2 million credits right there, almost all of that being profit, and you can go out there and get through your grinds a lot quicker, get through your tier 10s and keep a positive income flow. The Musashi does make a decent amount of cash, but not as much as the Missouri, of course, and get it before it's gone, guys. Just want to make a quick little video showing how awesome this ship is overall and just the credit potential that this ship has. So hope you guys enjoyed this video. Remember, like and subscribe, and I'll see you guys next time.